And it was quite a display as the Trailblazers arrived at the arena. A lot of thought put into those outfits. The Staples Center, downtown Los Angeles, and the freeways of LA, all painting the picture. A moment here now to see the numbers for Damian Lillard.
And you can see the surge in his level of confidence lately just by looking at that true shooting percentage. It's been moving straight up in the past 5 games. I think he's feeling it.
Let's take a look at our starters for Portland. Pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Enes Kanter is out there with Robert Covington, and it's Jones in at the 3 slot. And for the Lakers, Caldwell Pope and LeBron fill out the wings. Morris is out there with Marc Gasol, and it's Schroeder in at the point. Jones looking for an opening. McCollum finds Kanter. Back to McCollum. Covington into the lane. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. They get Marc Gasol. Do you remember, Greg, if you watched the standings very much when you played?
You know, we were always aware of it, and a lot of that had to do with the goals. I remember early in my career playing for the Knicks, you know, we were trying to win championships, and we talked a lot about home court and having that come postseason time. So you were absolutely aware of where you were because of the goals you set. But I think that also changes depending on who you are as a team. You know, if you're a championship caliber team that's won it, and maybe you're in the midst of a dynasty run, it may not matter as much because you know how good you are. You can win no matter where the venue is.
2 on the clock. Here's Trent. And the shot no good, a bit short.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
Look at Morris break down the defense on this play. If they leave one of his guys open, he's going to get it to him fast.
And LeBron James still the face of the league as he goes into his mid-30s. The impact he's had on this sport is really immeasurable.
Come on, Jay. I mean, he's one of the most recognizable athletes in the world. I mean, it's scary to think that LeBron can still turn it on and take over when he needs to. And you know what? Playoff LeBron is a very real thing.
Just over a minute and a half played here in this one. Here's LeBron. That's it. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
And if you're the defense, what can you do? James is too strong, too focused on these finishes.
Schroeder against Lillard. Down low. Kicks it out to Jones. And stolen by James. For the finish. And he caps off the fast break with a monster slam.
Oh, that's just stellar instincts from James. Outstanding at clogging up passing lanes with his length.
Here's Trent. They've been leaning on him for a decent chunk of their offense. He's averaging over 15 points a game. Lillard misses.
Oh, he found the open space from mid-range. Just maybe rushed his release a little bit.
Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. Kanter, the pass to Trent. He's looking for Lillard and finds him. Jones kicks to Covington. Here's Trent. He's guarded by Schroeder. Shot clock at 6. Back to Covington. From the arc, and they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation. So for the Trailblazers, Anthony's checked in for Robert Covington. Hood comes in for Derek Jones. And it's Simons in for Damian Lillard. Guys, they've been getting it done.
They came out with a mission, and they have been tough to stop.
LeBron with the buckets.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball. They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Anthony on the wing. Good ball movement here by the Trailblazers. LeBron with it. 37 points in the win against Charlotte.
And it was the little things, too. I mean, getting to the line, finding ways to get his points any way possible.
Harrell against Hood. Again, Los Angeles.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
2:06 left in the first quarter of the game. Trent passes to Carmelo. Will it go? Unable to get that one. And it's the Lakers the other way. They defeated Charlotte in their last game.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them do a little bit of everything in that game. Showed a lot of versatility.
Yeah, the offense looked cohesive last night. Whatever challenge the opposition presented, they answered with confidence.
LeBron, no luck. Trailblazers trail by 8. It's Anthony with the drive. Oh, and the jam by Anthony.
Strong move to the 10, trying to get his guys going.
Hard not to get motivated, GA, right when your teammate makes that kind of play.
They needed that, and I love that he just didn't settle for the lay-in.
And now the fast break, Anthony with the ball. Here's the 3. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. And here is Harrell. He gets it up. That shot off. And so it's the Los Angeles Lakers with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. They've been playing some ferocious defense. And we'll be right back after this.
What we've learned is staying together.
And Greg, of course, he helps keep everyone on the same page.
He communicates well with his teammates, and he listens. That's why they trust him. The discussions go both ways.
And buenas noches, basketball fans. It's Latin night here on 2K Sports. And you might have noticed the custom jerseys worn by the players. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing?
You got to credit their defense, communicating, rotating, making plays on the ball.
No question. It's been stifling thus far, preventing that offense from establishing any kind of rhythm.
On the floor for Portland, McCollum the 2 and Hood the 3. Enes Kanter is out there with Anthony, and it's Simons in at the point guard. Catching up on the changes for Portland, Robert Covington's checked in for Enes Kanter. Derek Jones comes in for Hood, and Lillard subbed in for Anthony Simons. Lillard, right side, and the layup's good off the glass.
Love seeing Lillard work it in close. I mean, he has the skills to convert at a high rate.
And Caruso's got the ball here for Los Angeles. 6-point lead. Atlanta will be traveling to face them after this game. That will complete this 4-game homestand. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Damian Lillard. That is his first foul of the game. And the Lakers with some changes. Marc Gasol comes in for Damian Jones. And Antetokounmpo subbed in for Harrell. Caruso, the pass to Gasol. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Showing the muscle. Gasol skilled and powering through contact and finishing.
Lillard outside. From deep. Portland keeps it going. A new 14-second shot clock. McCollum kicks to Jones. 5 to shoot. The Trailblazers need to get off a shot. Lets it go with a 3. That one's no good. 0 of 1 to begin the game. Lakers leading by 8. Kuzma with it. Jones covering. The shot's good from Kuzma.
Superb leaking out and running at a smart route. Kuzma, he loves capitalizing in transition.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Nobody near Lillard. And that comes off the assist by Jones. Lillard's got 5 points now in the quarter.
He's so aggressive at that end of the floor. And that's a quality all great scorers have.
Here's Caruso. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. This one for 3. And it's rebounded by Covington.
Now, you don't see that very often. A wide open 3 is usually like a layup for him.
Over in the corner, Lillard. Greg, we have a league of many great playmakers, don't we?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. LeBron James is obvious. You know, he played point guard technically for the first time last season, but he's always been a floor jumper. You look at a young man like John Morant, and he's been on the attack since day one when he hit the league. And there's so many more of those guys that are having an impact, understanding the value of that lead guard position. It is fun to watch.
It is so fun to watch, I agree. McCollum dishes to Anthony. Yes, that goes in.
I mean, look, he's evolved as a passer over the course of his career. Get to the right spot, McCollum finds
you. Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. Caruso looking for an opening. Out left to the wing. Here's Horton Tucker. Up again, controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Lillard outside. Outside, Covington. Lillard, the pass to Covington. There's the 3. Offensive rebound. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
Caruso, the pass to Gasol. 44 seconds left in the first half of the game. And he makes good on the layup.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
Cullen passes to Anthony. Lillard outside. A three-pointer, no good.
I'm not sure why he keeps trying his luck from deep here. It's just not his night.
Here's Horton Tucker. He is guarded by McCollum. Horton Tucker, the pass to Gasol. From outside, off the mark.
And no need to rush this. Let the clock run down.
Yeah, no need to give the ball back here. You want to close this quarter with momentum.
Lillard surveying the D. And good. Got the English that time as it falls. Lillard's got 7 points in the game.
And whether he's creating for himself or spotting up, Lillard's jumper is whizzing.
And so it's Los Angeles heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we...
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
15. Hey, everybody. Good to see you. It's the Lakers out on top at halftime. They've got the 7-point lead. Shaq, what was your take? And that's a wrap with the third quarter of...
And we've got third quarter of basketball for you. 2 quarters in the books. Trailblazers trail by 7. Caldwell Pope and LeBron fill out the wings. Markieff Morris is out there with Montrezl Harrell. And it's Schroeder in at the point guard position. That's the group starting the second half for Frank Vogel. McCollum outside. His 3-pointers off the mark. Los Angeles leading by 7. Here's LeBron. Wow!
Nice! Love how fierce James is. A ferocious dunk artiste.
And so it's McCollum. He'll bring it up for Portland. Following this one, they get to host the Mavericks. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand. Here's Simons. James covering. Shot clock at 5. Caldwell Pope against McCollum. And good that time.
Poise from the veteran guard. I love how calm McCollum is when the pressure is on.
Schroeder surveying the floor. 13 feet away. Rebounded by Covington. Covington's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Jones, the pass to Trent. To the middle. Here's Simons. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. McCollum, no good. Lakers leading by 7. Tipped away. And now Jones running the floor all by himself. Again, McCollum missing.
The defense has done a good job of forcing him into tough shots.
Here's James, and finished off by LeBron.
Oh, come on. You can't allow James to get position down low. Once he does, he's looking to dunk.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Covington's shot is off.
Only 1 for 5 to start the half. I mean, whatever adjustments they made at halftime weren't the right ones.
Here's Harrell. No good that time. And it's Portland the other way. Covington with it. Now guarded by Schroeder. Here's Simons. They get it again. Pass to Trent. Outside, Jones. The three from McCollum. And that comes off the assist by Jones. McCollum's got 5 points now in the quarter.
With the quick, accurate release, McCollum thrives on catch-and-shoot opportunities.
James looking it over. Harrell down low. Covington's there, and that one good.
And defensively, they're on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
McCollum outside. Pass to Simons. Trailblazers moving the ball around. The pass to McCollum. Over LeBron. McCollum, no good.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Whether he's driving, posting up, firing from deep, you know LeBron has it all. He's been a fantastic evening for him.
Well, you know, teams look for +6s. Players whose wingspans exceed their height by a half foot. Montrezl Harrell is a 6'7" player with a 7'4" wingspan. If you're struggling with the math, ladies and gentlemen, that's a +9.
Damian Jones is checked in for Harrell. Here's Jones. Morris with the rebound.
I tell you what, the defense should send Christmas cards for that miss.
In the corner, it's James. And good, as it just snugs right down through the net.
Such a consistent night for him from the field. Whenever they've needed it, he's been their safety valve.
Now Lillard, 7 points in the game. Connects in the foul line jumper. Lillard's got 9 points.
I like the attitude Lillard brings to the offensive end. I mean, if he's got room to shoot, he doesn't hesitate or even think twice about it.
Here's LeBron. Rebound by the Trailblazers. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Cantor kicks to Jones. Lillard outside. 12 seconds left in the third. Can't hit that one. Now the Lakers on the break. James has a 2-pointer. Another miss by James. And so it's LeBron James making things happen for Los Angeles. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. Now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
And how about the floor generalship right here? I mean, showing us why they're always in good hands when he's the man in charge.
Great vision. He's a gifted passer. Has his finger on the pulse of this offense.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store for us. On the court for the Trailblazers, Anthony out there with Enes Kanter. Then it's Rodney Hood. Then it's Damian Lillard.
And when James is attacking like this, it's sometimes overwhelming for the D, and they're forced to compromise.
Ray, can you really compare players from completely different eras? I mean, people love to talk about the greatest of all time.
You know, Kev, some players do transcend eras. There is no doubt about that. Wilt's a great example, and there are many others. But in reality, to your point, the style and the way in which the game was played was so different that it isn't fair. I mean, all you can be is the best of your generation or one of the best. And I think that should stand no matter what the conversation is.
Like, there's no doubt in your mind Oscar Robertson could play in this era as well as he played when he played.
No doubt. Bill Russell, all those guys.
Yes,
They're truly great ones. So much of your ability to perform at a high level is built around your confidence and your belief in your abilities. And those guys had it as much as anybody who's ever played the game.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
Here's Kuzma. The shot from the low post is good. Kuzma's got the lead up to 14 now for the Lakers.
Takes some strength to finish through that kind of contact. And Kuzma's definitely put in his share of work in the weight room.
Pass to Hood. Lillard outside. And the shot goes down.
When Lillard goes to work in the screen and roll, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, you pretty much pick your poison with him in these sets.
Fourth quarter now. We're about a minute and a half in. Here's Caruso. Shoots over Lillard. And he can't bank that one in. Trailblazers trail by 12. Anthony, the pass to Lillard. That's in there. Anthony with the assist. Lillard's got 5 points now this quarter.
First three of the half, second of the game. Can he heat up?
Here's Caruso, covered by Lillard. Caruso, the pass to Jones. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And it's the Trailblazers with the ball. A 12-point game. Pass to Lillard. From deep three-point range, and another three for Portland.
He's really turned it around here in the second half. I mean, his offense has returned.
And so James will bring it up for the Los Angeles Lakers. They've led by as many as 14 points. And James throws it down.
You gotta love watching James sky for the slam. I mean, demonstrating how high he can get up off the drive.
Lillard, the pass to Carmelo. The feed now to Cantor. Lillard outside. Passes it to Trent. 6 on the shot clock. And the 3 off target. Los Angeles leading by 11. Jones looking for an opening. Doubled by McCollum. Schroeder outside. The Lakers need to get a shot off here. Here's Caldwell Pope. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. And the Lakers with some changes. Harrell, he's checked in for Damian Jones. And Marcus Gasol is subbed in for Morris. And a switch here also for Portland. Little's checked in. Feeds to McCollum. Over Caldwell Pope. And it's good off the back of the rim and in.
Such a smart offensive player. When McCollum sees these shots open up, he doesn't think twice about firing.
Here's James, and the dunk by James.
And no doubt about it, in order for them to be successful, he has got to be a catalyst when it comes to scoring.
Little dishes to Anthony. Tanner, high post. Kicks it out to McCollum. To Cantor. Over Harrell. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. Guys, you've got to think a basket here would seal it.
No question. That would be all she wrote. And at this point, just sort of running through the paces, as it appears it'll be a nice win here for the Lakers.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, you know, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Yeah, and Kevin, not all about luck. I thought their overall shot selection was better.
And so it'll boost this year's win total for them to 29.
And they will walk out of here feeling really good about themselves today, guys. A big win over a conference foe they'd split their previous 2 games with.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for LeBron.
There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got.
LeBron, that's a 2-pointer. Damian Lillard grabs the loose ball. From downtown, the shot that time not on target. And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference.
All right, David, thank you. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now.
History Month. She is back this week with part 2 of Respect Your OGs, this time tributing WNBA legend Lisa Leslie. Here's her story.
And getting mentally prepared to compete. You see the focus. You feel the energy. These guys are ready to go. We bring you tonight into Portland. A moment now to look at the year-to-year scoring output and how it has been trending for Lou Williams.
And maybe it's shocking, maybe not too shocking, but the scoring trend over the last few years has been going down a bit. I'm sure it's something he's well aware of, and we'll see if that continues to be the case.
And the Clippers starting 5. Batum is out there with Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Ivica Zubac. And there's Jackson, and it's George in at the shooting guard position. And for Portland, the high-powered backcourt pair, Lillard and McCollum. Robert Covington out there with Derek Jones, and it's Cantor in at the pivot, manning the middle. Jackson is doubled. Outside Leonard. Zubac against Cantor. Clippers moving the ball around. And George, here we go.
Well, once Paul George gets in that deep, get out of the way. He's coming right at you.
Looking at Los Angeles, they want to turn it around after the loss to the Mavericks in Dallas.
And the versatility of Paul George's game, elite defense and rebounding, steals and deflections.
You think about Paul George moving to several teams, yet still having the impact on both ends of the floor. I think that is a telltale sign that you have an elite talent in Paul George.
Here's Leonard after Enes Kanter's basket.
That's good footwork from the big man as Cantor aware defensively to get to that one.
And the basket by McCollum.
Traditionally, that's how you want to finish the break, right at the rim.
Yeah, anything other than a layup in that situation, probably disappointing. Had numbers, took advantage.
My goodness, he is such a great dunker.
Greg, a high riser, no doubt about it. Lillard surveying the D. Shoots it up. Again, the Trailblazers score.
Just takes advantage of the D in a way that very few players playing today can do.
George up top. He's guarded by McCollum. And foul on the... Folks, the coach's challenge has been initiated for a personal foul. Close game like this, and he thought it wasn't a good call.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double-checking, and the game continues on.
Here's George following the score by Damian Lillard. And George, here we go. Oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. To the paint. And Damian Lillard with the bucket on the assist by Jones. Lillard's got 6 points. McCollum against George. That's tipped. Lillard outside. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Batum attacking. Dishes it to Leonard. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call. And the Trailblazers making a change here. Trent's checked in. And then for Los Angeles, Patterson, he's checked in for Zubac. Marcus Morris comes in for Nicholas Batum. Lou Williams is subbed in for George. Defense doesn't get much better than the mobile one block we just saw on replay.
And early in a game, these sorts of plays really can set the tone.
And Los Angeles with some changes. Mann's checked in, and it's Kennard in for Reggie Jackson. Cantor's shot is off.
A lot of defenders choose to just back up off of him when he's in that tight, try to avoid the and one, and this time they're not backing off.
On up the court. Clippers trail by 7. Man passes to Patterson, and it's Patterson finishing it off.
A power flush with a long hang on the rim at the end of that.
That could be, that could be a catalyst for him. It really could. Pass to Trent. Jones kicks to Lillard over Williams. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers.
Now that's just enough defensive pressure on him to throw off that shot. I bet he gets a good look at it next time and hits it.
The pass to Patterson. Here's Man, defended by Jones, and there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
When a pick like that is questionable and creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
Yeah, a quick little lean like that is going to get the ref's attention. Foul call.
2 points. That one goes. Lillard's got 8 points.
What a performance on the offensive end. He's making the defenders pay right now for all of the mistakes they're making.
Williams against Lillard. Here's Patterson. Excellent D from Cantor.
Well, the D's so tight on him, it makes him alter his shot. And an easy chance turns into a tough one because the defense is swarming.
Connects from three-point range. 11 points in the game.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Kennard finds Williams. Here's the floater. And Jones sends it back. One-on-one fast break. That's a 2 from Lillard. No good off the back of the rim. And so it's Damian Lillard making things happen for the Portland Trailblazers. He comes away with 11 points. Damian Lillard told us before the game, when asked how he stays so...
Normal beginnings. You know, I'm from a tough...
Well, some of the best stories in our league are about guys who struggled to get to where they are today.
And I really hope the young guys out there are listening to this. You don't have to be a 5-star prospect to achieve your dreams.
And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And for Portland guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
Well, their effort on the defensive end has set the tone for this game.
That defense has been infectious here as everybody stepping up aggressively on that end.
Taking a look at Los Angeles. Patrick Patterson is out there with Marcus Morris. Then it's Williams. Then it's Luke Kennard. And it's Man in at the 3. Good on that shot, and with that, the Trailblazer lead is cut down to just 8 points with the bucket from Kennard. McCollum dishes to Carmelo. McCollum against Kennard. Here's Patterson. The kick out to Williams. Back to Patterson. Williams finds Patterson. And Williams is right there.
Hard work and soft hands, guys. That's what made that play possible.
No simple offensive rebound there. Going for the tip in. Back to McCollum. There's the triple. They get the rebound. Cantor, the pass to Hood. McCollum fires from way outside. Here's Cantor. That one falls coming off Anthony's feet.
Like when his motor is running and he's playing with high levels of energy, Cantor is a monster on the offensive glass.
Williams with the ball. Cantor covering. Patterson happy to see that one go in for his second make in 5 attempts.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
McCollum outside. Quarter number 2. We're about 2 minutes in. Nice open look, but it's no good.
He loved to make them pay for giving up that wide open jumper, just unable to do so.
Anthony with the block.
How about Melo rising up quick to that one there? Nice shot block.
McCollum dishes to Anthony. Some nice ball movement here by the Trailblazers. McCollum feeling it out a bit. Cantor, great positioning on the putback.
And without looking at the scoreboard, you think they were the team trailing and trying to fight their way back.
Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Here's Williams. He averages more than 12 points a game. That's some dependable production. And it's out of bounds to the Clippers as the Clippers retain possession. A platoon swap here for the Clippers. Here's Zubac. 14 points from him the last game against the Mavericks in Dallas.
Yeah, but there's always this point you got to look at where did he also impact the game. It was on the rebounding end of the floor. A tremendous performance there.
Trent passes to Covington. Here's Trent. Takes the three. Batum grabs the miss. Now George. He's coming off a 28-point game against Dallas.
Let's us not forget about the work on the glass. His effort level was a 10 that night out of 10.
Now in the free agent race last year, for your money, Greg, who would you have rather take? Kawhi and PG, Kevin Durant and Kyrie.
Wow. I tell you what, it's a tough call. You know, Kawhi's got a couple.
And here we go, coach's challenge happening right now. This one in regards to the personal foul, seeing if that was the right call.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. With double checking, and the game continues on.
The Clippers shooting their third free throw attempt of the game.
And with Paul George, it's pretty awesome. You get the whole package. You get great scoring. You get good playmaking and rebounding. You get a defender with active hands. There's a lot of things about Paul George that can elevate everything you do to have great team success.
George passes to Zubac, and the dunk by Zubac.
Yeah, we love when great offensive players get in a scoring rhythm, but Paul George right now in a great passing rhythm tonight.
Portland leading by 5. Lillard outside. There's the feed to Covington, and the officials calling for a 3-second violation. And so it's Leonard with it. He'll bring it up for the Clippers. Following this one, they get to host the Hornets. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home. And the dunk by Zubac.
And you want more of this from Jackson. The more unselfish he is, the better the team.
Lillard from outside. He gets hauled in by Los Angeles. Last time they met was in Los Angeles.
In the last meeting of these two teams, they were really sharp defensively, disrupting the flow of their offense and causing a ton of turnovers.
It was definitely that defense that carried them to that huge win that night. You have to figure they'll be primed to wreak even more havoc here in this one.
Kawhi Leonard comes up with the rebound. And George, here we go. And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Trail. Thank you, David. And we'll be right back after halftime to start the 3rd quarter. See you in just a bit.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings to each, and leading the way at the start, it was Damian Lillard. He had 14 points and 1 assist. What'd you think about Portland, Kenny?
Man, their fans know how to give their team a lift.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take you down to Kevin Harlan.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. We're seeing a tremendous game from Damian Lillard.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
They're just way too easy out there, and I'm sure coach is going to make that a priority at halftime.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. On the court for the Trailblazers, pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Derek Jones is out there with Robert Covington, and it's Cantor in at the 5, roaming the paint. Pass to Lillard. It's up a 3. The shot comes out, and the Clippers will go the other way with it. Here's Leonard, and then Leonard with the dunk.
Really, with that level of speed and power, it is so difficult to keep Leonard from scoring on the drive.
Portland's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. McCollum kicks to Jones. Lillard outside. Covington passes to Lillard. Good ball movement here by the Trailblazers. Outside, Jones. Down to 5 on the shot clock. McCollum finds Cantor. Count it. Cantor's got 8 points.
Such a skilled offensive player. Enes Kanter is not just a threat from the inside. He's got a little mid-range, too.
George looking around. Passes it to Zubac. The shot's good on the assist by George. George has got 3 assists in the game.
It's a great move, and he catches the defense completely off guard.
Well, just ripping through right there as he finds the open spot and gets right through there. High basketball IQ play.
Jones, no one around him. Here's Cantor. Here's Lillard. No luck, they battled on the glass, but couldn't knock it down. The Clippers in the lead. Leonard with the ball. Jones covering. From deep, George. Stolen by Cantor. Fast break. Here come the Trailblazers. Moving it up. And Jones slams it in.
Well, if you go to Lehigh, of course, you're going to make smart plays. McCollum good at sensing when his man was going to be wide open.
Cantor against George. Zubac in the post. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist.
And 10 of their last 12 coming off assists.
Lillard outside. To the inside. Here's Cantor. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
Good touch on the jumper, especially from mid-range. Cantor hits a high percentage of those shots.
And George, here we go. Pass to Zubac. And it's Portland with the rebound. Cantor's got 7 rebounds in the game. Knocks it loose. Batum with the steal. And now here's Batum, the fast break opportunity. Basket counts. George has got the lead up to 1 now for Los Angeles.
Well, Paul George has definitely garnered some strength through the years now, and he's developed that over time in the offseason, being diligent with his work ethic and gets through contact on that play.
He just doesn't look like himself this quarter. Something's missing.
Well, he's missing, and it's starting to affect a little bit in his body language, and you just don't want to see that.
Jackson passes to Batum. George against Covington. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. All right, a chance to check out stats for Paul George.
And guys, for a measure of how he's performing offensively, look no further than the true shooting percentage. There's been a steady drop in his last 5 games, and he's got to be scrambling now to get that feel back.
Well, a great player on a great role at the charity stripe. The D has got to be careful about being too aggressive on him and sending him back for freebies.
There's the pass to Simons. Trying to find Cantor. Gets it to him. Takes a 3. Kept alive. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
There's the positive attitude, the strong work ethic of Cantor. Great putback.
59 seconds left in the third quarter. And here's George. He'll bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. It's a 1-point game. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. George has got 8 points here in this quarter.
And boy, he's really in a groove. Dominant performance last game. Same thing this time out.
Seems to be nobody standing in his way. No roadblocks for him to get to his spot, capitalize, and continue to be aggressive.
The Trailblazers using a switch here. McCollum's checked in.
And you give CJ that kind of shot, and he's going to knock it down. He'll exploit the defense all night long.
Williams with the ball. Now Anthony defending. Here's Okuru. Misses off the left iron.
You could tell he assumed he'd be able to beat the defensive coverage, even though it was all over.
Heads up play by Rodney Hood.
There's 18 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Kennard against McCollum. But they recover. A great competitive game so far.
And from the look of it, this one could go right down to the wire.
McCollum outside. And no good on the last second attempt this time. Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for Los Angeles. He notched. And how about a look now at our assist of the game? Brought to you by State Farm.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
That's what great passing will do for you right there, dissecting the defense with that play.
And I know I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to see what kind of finish awaits us here in the fourth quarter. So for the Clippers right now, Kawhi Leonard is out there with Marcus Morris. Then it's Paul George. Then there's Patrick Patterson. And it's Williams at the 1. And George gets it to go.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
George against McCollum. Anthony dishes to McCollum. Over George. Excellent D there from George. Clippers leading by 3. Good for his 9th make in just 12 shots. That's an even 75% shooting.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Fourth quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it.
You need more of this from Patterson. Such a big frame inside. I like to see it when he's swatting it away.
And he lobs it up toward the rim.
And they've done some nice work as we've come down the stretch here in the final quarter.
And right now is when you have to lay it on the line. Between the two teams, they've clearly been the aggressor.
McCollum with the ball. Leonard picks him up. And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That's his first foul for the Trailblazers. Jones checked in for Hood, and Lillard subbed in for Anthony Simons. Zubac is checked in for the Clippers. And it goes down 2 points.
Great intensity here down the stretch. He's not one to shrink in the moment.
Take a look at him. Locked in right now in this moment. Wants the ball in his hands and feels real comfortable with the shot he's taking.
Zubac kicks to George. And that one's in. He's only missed 3 of 13.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Lillard way outside. Jones finds Lillard. Sinks it. What range from outside. Wow.
Amazing how much Lillard has spatial awareness when his defender's just far enough away. He's going to shoot that quickly.
Stolen by Cantor. And oh, here we go. McCollum's got it. The fast break chance. It's deflected, and he gets it back. Pass to Anthony. Back to Lillard. And again, it's the Trailblazers from deep.
Well, he now has 4 3-pointers this game, guys. 2 in each half. He's really spacing out the floor for his teammates.
Here's George, and it's George finishing it off.
Paul George stepping up big time.
A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Lillard outside. He kicks to McCollum. Anthony, the pass to McCollum. Lillard outside. McCollum dishes to Lillard. 5 on the clock. Again, the miss by Lillard.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
Really left alone that time. George has got 30.
Well, keep it or dish it. Those are the decisions Paul George is trying to make, and he makes the right one there.
Lillard with no one around. They grab their own miss.
He's a scorer and stepping up this time. Cantor with a big one.
And here's Williams now. He'll bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. They lead by 4. George passes to Zubac. To the middle. The shot's good on the assist by George.
Good passing in the paint, maybe even more important to an offense than great passing on the perimeter. Those are areas where you got to be careful.
Lillard outside. Jacks up a 3. There's 1:17 left in the fourth. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Well, he's made some big shots dating back to his playing days in Europe. Cantor coming through here in the clutch.
And here's George. Passes to Zubac. Back to George. Wants to get it to Zubac. And does.
I'm not going to see that very often. The defense in the vicinity, but still, he's not one to blow layups.
Jones dishes to Anthony. Moves back up. Cantor kicks to Anthony. McCollum outside. Lillard from outside. Good! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
Man, I'll tell you what, the pressure is cranked up. Who better to call than this guy?
Williams passes to George. 26 seconds left in the fourth quarter. It's good!
Whoa, the nerves on this guy.
Not backing down from this moment here. When the game is close, he kicks it up a notch.
And Lillard gets double-teamed. Here's Cantor. It's in! And that shot brings them to within just 1.
This Cantor right now has confidence, and that can grow in big ways for him and put up big numbers.
And out of bounds as the Trailblazers gain possession.
And the score being this close, you have to retain possession of the ball. You just can't give it away like that.
Lillard attacking to take the lead. Stolen by Jackson. Count it!
And how's that for a one-man show? Put this fella on Broadway.
The most magnificent alley-oop we could have seen. Now a timeout called by Portland. They're behind by 3. 1 second left in the game. And now let's present our New Balance player of the game, Paul George.
And guys, he's been about as close to perfection as you can be. The intensity he's played with has been amazing. Just no let up. And as fired up as he's been, he's never let his emotions get out of control.
David, thank you as always. And that'll wrap it up, folks.
timing was perfect. The NBA was getting set to launch a women's pro league. And what they needed more than anything else was stars. Playing for the LA Sparks, Lisa became a household name. She was dominant on the court, and on top of that, she had the charisma to fit a star. And by the next year, she was on every poster, letting the world know that she and her girls had next. She was an MVP.
Welcome, basketball fans. It's set.
Hey, Kevin, the Clippers, for now at least.
There's been a transformation here in L.A. There is no doubt about that. D.A., thank you. And taking a broader look here at the year-over-year scoring trend for Lou Williams.
And maybe it's shocking, maybe not too shocking, but the scoring trend over the last few years has been going down a bit. I'm sure it's something he's well aware of, and we'll see if that continues to be the case.
And now the Lakers starting group. Caldwell Pope and LeBron fill out the wings. Marcus Gasol is out there with Markieff Morris, and it's Schroeder in at the point guard. And for the Clippers, Batum is out there with Ivica Zubac. Then it's Paul George, and there's Jackson, and it's Leonard in at the small forward. And so the Los Angeles Clippers get the first points of the ballgame. Now here's Jackson. Taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now he averages about 9 points a game. Pass to Zubac. And this time of year, Steve, is when we see a lot of players start to lose their edge. A lot of games in the rearview mirror, but the playoffs are still a ways off.
Well, Kevin, for the great teams, this is when you snap into more focus. This is the time of year to get into the postseason mode. Usually those teams and players that fall off, they're usually on losing teams.
LeBron's shot is good.
More of a score-first point guard, but Schroeder doing a good job of finding the open man.
Jackson looking it over. Zubac kicks to Jackson. Back to Zubac. Leonard on the wing. Outside. George. Pocket 6. Fires for 3. They get it back. It's good on the putback.
And those second chance points really become almost like bonus points when you can get them.
Schroeder against Jackson. On the wing, James. And the dunk by LeBron.
Powerful high flyer. LeBron attacks the rim like no one else.
Jackson with it. He's picked up by LeBron. Jackson with the bounce pass. George up top. He's guarded by Schroeder. Zubac kicks to George. Trying to find Jackson. He's got it now. It's not going to go for him. Good D by LeBron. Lakers have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Leonard with the steal. George against Caldwell Pope. And the basket is good.
Excellent concentration from Paul George, overwhelming the aggressive defense with his strength and determination.
And Smitty, with LeBron getting into his late 30s, KD coming off the Achilles, for your money, is Kawhi Leonard the best player in the world?
Great question. I know one player, the Greek Freak, might have something to say about that. No less than Michael Jordan himself called Kawhi the best two-way player in the game. That's a very strong endorsement from MJ.
Now here's Leonard. Outside for Jackson. Outside, Batum. No good on the triple.
And I think that one could have easily have fallen for him.
Kicks it out to LeBron. Back to Morris. Pass to LeBron. And LeBron throws it down.
Everybody knows that he is a relentless finisher around the rim.
Last game for the Lakers, they picked up the W against the Hornets. Caldwell Pope against George. Pass to Zubac. Back to George. Just 5 to shoot. And it's Contavious Caldwell-Pope with the foul. That's his first foul for the Clippers. Patterson, he's checked in for Batum. Morris comes in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Williams in for Jackson.
He is so good attacking the rim. It's rare to see him denied like that.
For the Clippers, Mann's checked in. And it's Luke Kennard in for Paul George. And the Lakers also making a change. Damian Jones is checked in for LeBron. Now here's Jones. Clippers foul call.
Last season, Damian Jones getting ample chances to show what he can do. Not a huge quantity guy, but boy, he made the most of his touches.
You know, Damian Jones, he makes about 2/3 of his shots for his career. He knows what it's about, and that's finishing at the rim. A bit of an old school center in that regard. He lives at the rim on both ends.
Williams inside, working on Jones. Patterson, that's good.
This is the type of playmaker Lou is. Outstanding at getting it to his open guys.
Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Here's Jones. It's tipped. Williams with the ball. He averages more than 12 points a game. That's some dependable production. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. Launches it. Buries it from three-point range.
Quick feet, quick release. Hard to check Lou Williams from beyond the arc.
Caruso looking for an opening. Oh, and the buzzer beater's good.
One eye on the rim, one eye on the clock.
And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. The Clippers on top, up by 3. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this.
The way he plays defensively, you know what he's...
And, of course, Gasol and Leonard won the championship together in 2019, largely, Greg, because of their ability to play defense and get stops.
And 2 former Defensive Players of the Year on the same team. That's going to be your foundation. But both guys were tremendous at the other end as well, albeit in different ways.
And getting going again here in the second quarter. Fairly close game so far. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen so far from the Clippers, guys. What are your thoughts?
Just cashing in on second chance opportunities. That's how they built this early lead.
You can do everything else right, but if you fail to take care of the defensive glass, you're killing your chances.
Luke Kennard out there with Lou Williams. Then it's Marcus Morris. Then there's Patrick Patterson. And it's Mann in at the 3, the small forward. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Clippers.
Getting hit on the way up, the ability to finish in traffic might be Harrell's strongest attribute offensively.
Williams passes to Patterson. Down low. Good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist.
Patterson is so active and efficient with his movements inside.
Here's Caruso, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. A second chance effort. Here's Harrell. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Kennard, the pass to Patterson. Here's Williams. And he drops it in from the low post. Williams has got 5 points so far.
Despite having a small frame, this is a big part of Lou Williams' game. Taking it up strong inside.
Out to Kuzma. The 3. Offensive rebound. Harrell dishes to Jones. Slammed home, and he draws the foul. And, yep, we thought we might see it. And the coach's challenge has been triggered on the personal foul call.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
Lakers trail by 3.
And at his peak, Reggie Jackson is one of the better guards in the league. He still got that confidence.
Yes, he does. Injuries slowed him down, but still able to create his shot anytime he wants.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Batum passes to Jackson. From deep. The rebound by Caldwell Pope. And there's the foul. It's on Nicholas Batum. That is his first foul of the game. Some changes for the Lakers. Marc Gasol's checked in for Damian Jones. Antetokounmpo comes in for Harrell. And it's LeBron in for Kyle Kuzma. LeBron dishes to Gasol. And there's the pass to LeBron. And James throws it down.
Defensively, you want to take away LeBron's driving lanes, but his speed and power still went out.
Outside, George. On the wing, Jackson. Back to George. Outside for Jackson. Tries again. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Defense throws everything at George, but he persists and finds a shot.
And the Lakers making a change here. Schroeder's checked in.
Money from the stripe. He does a great job night in and night out.
And here is James. 8 points for him. 1:04 left in the first half. Great that time from Leonard. Clippers leading by 3. George looking over the floor. Fires the 3. But they'll get another chance. Stolen by Caldwell Pope. James finds Schroeder. Here's Antetokounmpo. Buries it down low.
Poor interior defense. If you play him soft, he's going to kill you.
Clippers have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Jackson passes to George. 16 seconds left to play in the first half. Yes, that goes in.
Well, Paul knows the defense is locked in on him, so he takes advantage and finds the open man.
In the corner, it's James. So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. Clippers lead by 3. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David. All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings to each and every. And for the Clippers, the wing tandem of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. And that'll...
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game it's been so far. You've got to like what Ivica Zubac has done in this game.
Yeah, it's been a great performance from him, really staying focused on quality shots.
And many of those quality shots have been jumpers. A very high percentage of those in the first half.
Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. So for the Lakers right now, Caldwell Pope and LeBron fill out the wings. Markieff Morris is out there with Marc Gasol, and it's Schroeder in at the point.
Yeah, and gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
And James picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Alex Caruso, he's checked in for Caldwell Pope. Here's Mann. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Morris kicks to George. Greg, I know you've played for some great coaches in your day. What is it that separates the truly elite coaches, in your opinion, from just coaches that are pretty good?
I think the one attribute that's most important for a great coach is consistency. And I've said this, you can coach a lot of different ways, you can win a lot of different ways, but you've got to be sincere and true to your principles and your philosophy. And those are the coaches, and I've had them that have done it different ways, but they've been the most successful. And listen, you've also at the professional level, you've got to have a presence about you. You got to have some charisma out there as well to get these men to buy in.
George dishes to Morris. Passes it to George. Latrey. Rebound the Lakers.
His inability to make shots has not brought this team down. That shows you their resourcefulness.
Jones, the pass to Schroeder. Over Leonard. The Lakers rebound. On the wing, James. Pass to Jones. Another shot. Uses the glass that time, and it's good. Jones has got 6.
And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
Outside, George. Inside. Pass to Mann. Clippers moving the ball around. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation.
Hate to see that. I know everyone's mind is on the play, but you've got to protect the ball.
Looking at who's out there now for the Lakers. Antetokounmpo comes in for Morris, and it's Caldwell Pope in for Alex Caruso. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Now LeBron. He's got 8 for the lead. And the Lakers with another miss.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Mann passes to Williams. It's thrown by to Kumbo. James in the post. Kicks it out to Schroeder. It's Jones on the wing. And Jones slams it in.
That's a stomach punch, guys. Turn it over and give him a free run to the bucket.
Oh, you're so right. No question who has the momentum now.
But the truth is, those type of plays are going to happen. You just have to regroup mentally and get back to work.
Caldwell Pope against Kennard. Here's LeBron. Got a piece of it. And that's out of bounds. The Lakers will retain possession. .131 left to play here in the third. Caldwell Pope feeling it out a bit. Off target with his 3. And it's Williams with the ball for the Clippers. Their defense has only allowed 6 points in the second half. To the paint to end the cold streak. Out to Morris. Kennard against Schroeder. Second chance shot. Antetokounmpo pulls it in. The Lakers in the lead. James in the post. Good work defensively by Morris.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
And Morris throws it down.
And not a next-level athlete, but Morris has the ability to face up and beat his man off the dribble.
Here's James, and James throws it down.
And look, if you're going to allow him to get to the bucket that easily, this lead's going to go from small to big real quick.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Here's Williams. And it's good, 2 points. Williams has got 7.
Because of his size, everyone tries to get physical with Luke, but he pays it no mind.
James in the post. And the dunk by James. Third quarter here, and 5 lead changes so far.
And guys, neither team has been able to pull away.
Williams passes to Oturu. Back to Williams. 2 on the clock. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. The Lakers on top, leading by just 1. We'll be back shortly live from Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. Here now a chance to show you our assist of the game, and it's presented as always by State Farm.
And how about the big fella here showing us he's got some point guard skill here with the tremendous setup.
Let me tell you, when you can run offense through your bigs, you give the defense just another thing it has to try and take away.
Well, this has been a great contest so far, and I imagine the fourth quarter could have even more action in store for us. Reggie Jackson out there with Paul George. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. Then there's Batum, and it's Zubac in at the 5, home in the paint. That's who's out there for the Clippers.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
George against Matthews. Now, here's George. Not a lot of room. And the dunk by Zubac.
Oh, and he got fancy with that one.
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open. And here are the Lakers. Here's Caruso. Fourth quarter just getting started. 1 minute in the books. Now the pass to McKinney. 5 to shoot. The Lakers need to get a shot off here. Shoots it. No good on the shot. So the Clippers will take it the other way. And he's going to get whistled for that foul. Gee, that was intentional, but not exactly logical.
How about pointless to foul there? I mean, I don't know where his head is, but it's not in the game.
A platoon swap here for the Lakers. Here's Zubac. Kicks it out to Leonard. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. Looking to end his cold spell.
So comfortable in pick and roll. Paul George is a top-level ball handler who consistently makes the right play.
Shooter passes to Gasol. Now, here is Morris. And Morris throws it down.
And those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
This is a close-knit group. They feed off one another's energy.
Leonard looking around. Kicks to George. Zubac trying to break loose. Lakers have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Caldwell Pope passes to Gasol. Back to Caldwell Pope. Right side Gasol. Morris outside. Takes a 3. Kawhi Leonard comes up with the rebound. The Clippers shooting pretty good tonight at 48%. He dishes it to George. Count that one.
Big points as the stakes rise, so does George's impact on the game.
And Schroeder's got the ball here for the Lakers. Trailing by 2. And just about 3 minutes through the fourth quarter here. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. That's good from Schroeder.
And you know, Dennis Schroeder, from the moment he came into the league, showed tremendous confidence. He's never been the type to back down.
Williams, he's checked in for Reggie Jackson. The Clippers have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. George against Caldwell Pope. From the high post. That one off the back iron and out.
Can't fault the play call. Even though he couldn't convert, that's a good shot.
It's tipped. Outside, Batum. George against Caldwell Pope. And there's Paul George on the assist by Leonard.
At 6'8", Paul George is a threat inside, looking very comfortable from in there.
James looking around. Basket made. That gives him 7 field goals in 13 tries.
When you need a big bucket, keep it in his hands. LeBron lives for this one.
1:10 left in the fourth. Williams attacking. Outside, George. 6 to shoot. Back to Zubac.
Big-time basket at a big-time moment.
This is why we all watch. The NBA is about these moments.
Now here's James. He can't get that one to fall. Empty that time from Leonard. 34 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And George, here we go. And Gasol sends it back.
The former Defensive Player of the Year, Gasol, showing his stuff.
Morris trying to free himself up. Money! He has tied up this game. Oh, what a shot.
Your go-to guy in these situations. LeBron has been here before plenty of times.
Williams finds George.
No moment is ever too big for Paul George. He remains confident in the clutch.
The drive by James. So it's the Clippers taking the win in a close one. Well, thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our...
Wherever she went. Since Lisa retired in 2009, she's been a model, an actress, a TV analyst. But today, if you call her a groundbreaker, she'll tell you she prefers the term torch carrier. Because she hasn't forgotten about all the women who came before her. Lisa felt like she was carrying the torch for those predecessors when she played. And she knew how important it was that her generation succeeded so that the next generation, my generation, could benefit. And by the way, Lisa's still making sure her voice
A look at the Lakers as they got off the team bus after arriving at the arena. And a chance here to check out some stats for him.
And guys, how about the surge of offense he's experiencing right now? These last 5 games, he's been a machine at the offensive end. A different score than he had been earlier in the season. We'll find out if he can keep it going here tonight.
And now the Lakers starting group. Caldwell Pope and LeBron fill out the wings. Markieff Morris is out there with Marc Gasol. And it's Schroeder in at the point. And for the Trailblazers, pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Enes Kanter is out there with Robert Covington, and it's Jones in at the 3, the small forward. And here's McCollum for 3. The Lakers with the rebound. Last time they met was in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and they picked up the win in their last game against this club, and really it was a parade to the free throw line.
Well, it tells you a lot about who's the more aggressive team. I mean, they should have that same exact attitude tonight.
Chris, it doesn't matter if they're 2 of the best teams in the league or the 2 worst. When these guys get together, these rivals, it's always fun.
Yeah, Kevin, you're so right. When it's a conference rivalry, that's even better. They know each other so well, and that doesn't make them friends.
Covington's shot is off. Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. And Jones sends it back. They get it back. James looking it over. And now Portland on the break. Kanter finds Lillard. And it's off from three-point range. For Los Angeles, they've gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
And see where Kentavious Caldwell-Pope changing his approach before last season. He knew he wouldn't need to take on as much of a scoring responsibility.
Yeah, and what a team player, GA. I mean, KCP rededicated himself to defense. Tries to do more with less touches now. And that's the mindset we need to have playing with stars going for a championship.
And the Trailblazers making a change here. Trent's checked in. Now, here's Kanter. 14 points from him the last game against Dallas. A putback. Great positioning on the putback.
When it comes to offensive rebounding, Kanter has led the league in offensive boarding rates. I mean, when you think about it, perhaps the best at picking up his teammates' misses.
Here's Schroeder. He's coming off a 22-point game against Charlotte.
And he was also a terrific creator in that game as well. His assist total show you what a fantastic all-around effort it was.
Schroeder against Lillard. The pass to Kanter. If you're just tuning in, we've played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. It's stolen by Schroeder. Oh, and here comes Schroeder all alone. Lays it in off the breakaway. And so here's Portland. Trailing by 4. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need the basket.
And another turnover here by Portland. And it's Kuzma with the ball for the Los Angeles Lakers. They defeated Charlotte in their last game.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them do a little bit of everything in that game. Showed a lot of versatility.
Yeah, the offense looked cohesive last night. Whatever challenge the opposition presented, they answered with confidence.
Here's Caruso, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. Outside, Covington. To the middle. Trent passes to Jones. Right wing. The shot by Lillard. Wide open. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers. And Jones sends it back. The drive by Kanter. And that one, good.
I mean, it's encouraging to see Kanter finish on the drive. The D has to offer more resistance.
And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, here's Caruso. And he banks in the layup.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
Lillard outside. Feeds to Kanter. Over Harrell. And the rejection by 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 Harr Cantor finds Jones. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And he gets the whistle. And folks, the coach's challenge has been initiated for a personal foul. Close game like this, and he thought it wasn't a good call.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
Here's Caruso. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2. Trailblazers trail by 4. Pass to Anthony. It's McCollum on the wing. Puts it up from 17. Portland no good that time either.
He makes a lot more of those than he misses. Not sure what threw him off right there.
Stolen by McCollum. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. It's stolen. 3 on 3. Here's Kuzma. Banked in off the glass.
So long, so mobile. I love watching Kuzma get out on the break and execute like this.
Jacks up a 3. Cantor, and Cantor able to finish. Cantor's got 8 points.
Oh, how about the finesse there? Nice little gentle touch on the board.
And you know, when you have that gentle touch, those tip-ins are easy to come by. And that does it for the first quarter. Los Angeles up. Well, Greg, we know he's already a solid scorer, but Kyle Kuzma's
biggest area of growth would definitely be on.
Now, having played with superstars, Kuzma is learning what it takes to win.
He's getting only so many shots per game, so I applaud him for finding other ways to contribute to his team with an eye toward the greater goal.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And taking a look at the Lakers' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing in the game?
You got to credit their defense, communicating, rotating, making plays on the ball.
No question. It's been stifling thus far, preventing that offense from establishing any kind of rhythm.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter. Oh, that was something else.
I love how fierce James is, a ferocious dunk artist.
McCollum outside from 17 feet out, and he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in.
His offensive skill set is off the charts. He has more than a few ways to punish.
James against Hood. Excellent D from Cantor.
I don't think the D does good enough here, but something causes the miss. Now, you know, Anthony's getting more floor time last season. He worked his way into the Blazers' rotation. He's still young, though. It seems like he can carve a roll out on his team.
McCollum, no good. And Caruso's got the ball here for the Los Angeles Lakers. The putback. Kuzma passes to Harrell. Caruso kicks to James. Goes up again. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's going to be on Rodney Hood.
And Simon's a bit undersized at that 2-guard position. Only 6'3", but a natural 2 with playmaking ability.
Ultimately, this team wants him to be a scoring threat off the bench. I mean, have him come in firing from outside. He's got a lot of work to get to that point.
Antetokounmpo's checked in for Los Angeles. And Lillard kicks to Anthony. Good ball movement here by the Trailblazers. Back to McCollum. Shot clock at 6. Again, McCollum missing.
I don't know if it's been the main factor, but this off night has definitely been one factor.
And LeBron throws it down.
James is just remarkable, showing no remorse when he's attacking the rim.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Morris against McCollum. Gets that one to drop. That's his third field goal in 8 tries.
Huge hole in the defense that possession. He didn't waste any time cutting through it.
James dishes to Harrell. Pass to Antetokounmpo. Kicks to James. And LeBron throws it down.
I like the intensity from James, using his speed to knife toward the rim.
Trailblazers trail by 5. Lillard the pass to Covington. McCollum against Morris. Releases from 15, and again it's Portland converted. Greg, coming out of the All-Star break, a couple teams have really turned up the intensity, haven't they?
Playoff seedings are in sight, Kev, and no doubt this is a crucial stretch of the season, especially for teams that will be on the bubble.
Harrell, that's good.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. Lillard scanning the floor. Pass to Covington. And the pass to Trent. Anthony with it. Lillard from outside. And James pulls it down.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
Portland's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for that. And the whistle blows as the basket counts, and a three-point play chance right here on free throw coming up.
A tough start scoring the basketball, but they're starting to turn it around now.
Trailblazers making a switch here. Jones is checked in.
What you love about Lillard is his drive. He wants to keep improving. He's a super competitive player.
Schroeder outside. Here's Gasol, and Gasol slams it in.
Good to see a player going all out when the game's this tight.
You know, G.A., he knows what his job is. Patrol the offensive glass.
Second chance opportunity so big in this instance. They have to feel fortunate that they could extend that play.
That one goes. Count it.
There's never going to be hesitation from Lillard on his catch-and-shoot opportunities. His confidence through the roof on those.
There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. Schroeder off target from the baseline. For Portland, they've gone 6 of 9 in the second quarter. Some good work from the field. Three-pointer, Lillard. Antetokounmpo pulls it in. Out of bounds, Portland takes possession. Nine seconds left now here in the second. And it's Lillard again missing. Here's Caldwell Pope. And the last second attempt does not go in for him. All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
It is a competitive matchup for the Lakers in the first quarter. Their field goal percentage was
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. Look at LeBron James. He's really been playing well.
Man, he's been running wild on them through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
And as they can't slow him down, you know what you do? You keep feeding them and feeding them and feeding them. This is the right game plan.
The high-powered backcourt pair, Lillard and McCollum. Derek Jones is out there with Robert Covington, and it's Cantor in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the group on the floor for Portland. James outside. Good for another field goal. Number 5 in the night. 5 for 10 shooting.
I'd like to say I'm blown away, but honestly, with LeBron, a game like this, it's just par for the course.
And the basket by Lillard.
So impressive, the fortitude the will to battle back, but it did take a lot of energy to get here.
Yeah, true, but we'll see if they can keep forging ahead. For now, you got to give them credit for coming back.
And the shot goes in.
They didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
Lillard outside. Back to Jones. Trailblazers moving the ball around. And Kanter throws it down.
And once Kanter finds himself, he stays aggressive. I like how much he's looking to score right now.
Lillard against Schroeder. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Schroeder's got 4 points now in the quarter.
How's that for a start? Good on all 3 attempts so far in the second half.
It's McCollum on the wing. From the line. And again, it's Portland converting.
And that makes him 4 for 5. I mean, I think that's pretty good numbers. I mean, they've got to be pleased with how things are playing off so far.
The drive by James. That shot misses. Excellent D from Kanter.
That's their first miss after hitting 3 in a row to start the half. I mean, I guess it had to happen sometime.
Lillard from outside hits it from three-point range. Lillard's got the lead up to 3 now for the Trailblazers. Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. Here's Schroeder. Gasol tried to free himself up, and it's Schroeder missing. Trailblazers leading by 3. Coach is liking what he's seeing from his offense.
And guys, they put the defense on the defensive.
Pass to McCollum. Covington in the corner. Back to McCollum. The dish to Kanter. Shot clock at 5. Covington passes to Kanter. Covington trying to break free, and Kanter throws it down.
That's a terrific floor awareness. I mean, it's obvious Covington has a great feel for when his teammates are wide open.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Here's James. Count the basket and the foul. It goes on C.J. McCollum.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
So Portland ends up going with the new group. The Lakers also making some changes. Harrell, he's checked in for Markieff Morris. Kyle Kuzma comes in for Dennis Schroeder. And it's Alex Caruso in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Passes it to Simons. And here's Anthony for 3. And again, it's the Trailblazers from deep.
And with their hot shooting here in the second half, their field goal percentage over 50% now for the game.
Well, Melo made his way back into the league last season. He's immediately a heavy minutes player for the Blazers. Looked good as a third scoring option for the team.
And he shows us all what the breakaway rim was invented for.
Can you believe he almost brought the whole thing down by hanging on that long? Here's Little. The Lakers with the rebound. Kuzma's got 6 rebounds in the game.
And with Melo not having to bear so much of the scoring load, I think was good for him.
Yeah, especially since he took about a year off from playing. Melo had to take a long look in the mirror about how he can help teams win during his absence. He clearly has something left to offer.
Here's Giles, defended by Gasol. Anthony against Harrell. Anthony, the pass to Giles. And Gasol sends it back.
Wow. Trying to challenge Gasol, big-time two-way player. He gets it done on both teams.
Great teamwork, punctuated by a strong finish.
Perfect example of how to run the break the right way and get a great look.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Back to Anthony. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call.
And you can tolerate gaffes like that sometimes, but in a close game, man, I tell you what, that really hurts.
I'm glad we got to see the mobile 1 block once more. What a play.
And guys, that's about as good a defensive play as you'll see. Instant reaction to get a hand to the shot.
And finished off by LeBron.
That's just superb concentration despite getting hit. James is just excellent at scoring from contact.
He's made 2 of his 3 attempted tonight. Outside Anthony. outside Hood, and it's McCollum in the corner. The three from Anthony, and that one released in time, but no good. It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end of three. Terry Stotts had some advice for his team. Let's hear what he had to say.
Hey, listen, they're just going to keep...
And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. And on the court for the Lakers to start the fourth. We've got Antetokounmpo. He's out there with Jones. Kyle Kuzma is out there with LeBron James. And it's Horton Tucker in at the 2-guard spot. McCollum deciding where to go with it. Out to Hood. Outside Anthony. 6 to shoot. Oh, he delivers that.
I cannot believe that. And guys, I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is to get the 2 points, not necessarily the dramatics.
Oh, come on. He had to go for that, didn't he? My goodness. Here's James. No good that time. And the Trailblazers going the other way. Jumps up. Rips down the breakaway slam.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam, using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there. Sure. James in the post. He's guarded by McCollum. And the dunk by LeBron.
And you think of all the different images in your mind over the years of James attacking the rim.
We've gone about a minute and a half into the fourth quarter. It's McCollum with the drive. Chalk up 2 there.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
Yeah, that's why he's hot. He's playing with a lot of confidence. That's why they're going to him with such consistency.
And the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed him there for some reason. I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
Right.
That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part.
And the Lakers making a change here. Schroeder's checked in. Schroeder against Lillard. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
He hits one and misses one, each at the line.
Yeah, being down 2 points instead of 1 thanks to the free throw miss makes getting a stop here absolutely critical.
Horton Tucker, that's good.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Lillard against Schroeder. Here's Giles. Back to Lillard. It's Covington on the wing. Lillard outside. And he lays it straight in.
That's why you give the rock. When it's an important possession, you know he's going to rise to the occasion.
Horton Tucker, the pass to Antetokounmpo. Around 3 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Jones, no luck. It's stolen by Schroeder. Gets it to drop, and now he's shooting at a 5-for-8 clip.
It's been like this all night for both teams. The offenses having their way.
Yeah, defensively, neither side has been able to adjust, and that's reflected in the score.
And Lillard kicks to Jones. Back to Lillard from downtown. Jones pulls it down. Los Angeles leading by 4. Here's Kuzma. Lays it up and banks it in.
You see how comfortable Kuzma is from there. I mean, he knows he has the size and touch needed to be effective.
Pass to Simons. .125 left here in the fourth quarter. Bangs on the trifecta.
It's been this way since halftime. Tremendous production from beyond the arc.
Yeah, and they aren't just chucking up anything. I mean, they're doing a great job of creating quality looks.
Here's Schroeder. Up again. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And the Lakers lead by 5.
Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
Lillard, the pass to Giant. At the elbow, Jones. Three-pointer, Lillard. And that one is off.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
Antetokounmpo kicks it over to Schroeder. Rebounded by Covington.
It seemed like he changed his mind halfway through the layup, tried to go to something else, and flat out choked.
That's how to make things look easy for a teammate. I mean, you make passes like that one from Lillard, crazy.
They'll be trying to take as much time off the clock as they can.
Exactly. Expect to see longer possessions from this point on.
The pass to Horton Tucker.
Late in the game, up big, they continue to attack.
And it's not about running up to score. It's about closing the door or any kind of comeback.
Good! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
And you can't get a bigger bucket than that.
That's why they put the ball in his hand. They know they can count on him to make crucial shots.
Here's Horton Tucker. So it's Los Angeles taking. All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll do it, folks.
Headlined by Dark Matter, Kevin Garnett, Galaxy Opal Larry Bird, and Galaxy Opal Paul Pierce, these packs have a little bit of everything. Plus, the final Golden Age and Modern Age hero.
And the player introductions are wrapped up. The starting five. Hi, everyone. Time to get into it. NBA. Hey, Dave.
Good evening, Kevin.
What a story. David, thank you. Let's take a look at our starters for Portland. Pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Enes Kanter is out there with Robert Covington, and it's Jones in at the 3. And for the Clippers, they've got Jackson. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Batum. Then it's Paul George, and it's Zubats in at the 5 down low. Jackson finds Batum. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Greg, we're still involved in the conference system. Does it hold relevance as we're looking here at the standings midseason?
You know, for travel distance, yes, and there's also some tradition at stake. I mean, look, that said, in a perfect world, you'd like to see the best 16 teams make the playoffs each year, but we've had, you know, imbalance in conferences forever, so that's not going to change. But sometimes change is just necessary.
How about quickly for the playoffs? Would you like to reseed and take the top 6 teams, 1 through 16?
I would. I think that'd be a great idea.
And he's good on the 3 ball.
Yeah, quick thinking, wins Dame, assist. Finds the open man and the ball instantly there for the finish.
Here's George, and George with the stuff.
And how high can you fly? I mean, he finishes that one with some pop.
GA after getting loose in the lane with a scintillating move. And the Trailblazers making a change here. Trent's checked in. Lillard against Jackson. Beyond the arc. Lillard misses.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Outside, George. So first quarter just over a minute and a half in. Leonard inside. He's against Cantor. And Covington sends it back. And oh, here we go. Lillard's got it, the fast break chance. Covington kicks to Lillard. And some nice ball movement here by the Trailblazers. Misses from short range.
Boy, this guy is a good finisher, so he misses a chippy. That's tough to take.
Leonard, an easy 2 points on the layup.
Kawhi's game comes with a measure of resolve as a scorer. Contact simply doesn't affect him as much as other players.
And Kawhi Leonard with a very analytical approach to rest of the game. Studies angles, movement, trying to groove in on perfect mechanics. I mean, he does it all.
Yeah, Kev, that goes back to his favorite high school subject, which was math. And think about how precisely he has built his game.
And here we go with the coach's challenge. On surprise in a competitive game like this. And he's disputing the personal foul call.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
And the officials calling for a 3-second violation. Big group substitution here for the Clippers. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Zubac. Marcus Morris comes in for Nicholas Batum. Kennard, he's checked in for George. And it's Williams in for Jackson. And then for the Trailblazers, Anthony's checked in for Robert Covington. Hood comes in for Derek Jones. And it's Simons in for Lillard. And the call will be against Luke Kennard. That is his first foul of the game. Los Angeles making a switch here. Mann's checked in. And the Trailblazers making a change here as well. McCollum's checked in. Clippers leading by 3. Morris passes to Mann. He feeds it to Patterson. And it's Patterson finishing it off.
Well, you take all doubt out of the equation. Patterson throws it down with force.
McCollum deciding where to go with it. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. McCollum's got 5 now.
Good way to start this game. You want to get him rolling as early as possible.
He's a guy who, if he gets hot, he can carry your offense for long stretches.
Man, he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
The Trailblazers shooting their first foul shot of the game.
And when you think of McCollum, the word efficient comes to mind. This guy just shoots the ball and plays the game at a high level.
Kennard, the pass to Patterson, and it's Patterson finishing it off.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
And here's McCollum for three. It's hauled in by the Clippers.
He couldn't believe how open he was. He just couldn't convert it.
Kennard finds Patterson. That's tipped, stolen by McCollum. And Morris has got the ball here for Los Angeles. They come into this one following the loss to the Mavericks.
And defensively in that one, they needed to come up with big stops to quiet that crowd, and that's obviously easier said than done.
I'll tell you this, it looked like they wanted to get out of town as quickly as possible. The problem is their defense went with them.
If there's a weakness in your defense, McCollum will find it. Reads the floor exceptionally well.
With 4 seconds on the clock, and Williams with the layup.
Good job attacking. Those restricted area shots are what every NBA team is looking for.
Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
Boy, I love seeing Cantor distribute the basketball. If you're open, this guy will find you.
A good close contest so far. As we Well, before the game, we talked with Damian Lillard. He credits his up.
I think it comes from the...
And that's the kind of support, Greg, he gives his teammates on and off the floor.
And, you know, guys naturally trust him. They believe in him, and he typically comes through when they need him.
And close game underway so far. We'll see if either of these teams can jump out in the second quarter. And for Portland, guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
Well, they use the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
And we know this. Every team in the league now seems to be looking to play with pace.
Luke Kennard out there with Lou Williams. Then there's Patrick Patterson. Then it's Marcus Morris. And it's man in at the 3 spot. That's who's out there for the Clippers. Off target from outside.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Kennard finds Morris. Here's man. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Yep, it counts.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
Kennard against McCollum. The 10-footer. And Portland again with the bucket.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
Outside Williams. Stolen by McCollum. Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played. Offensive rebound. The shot's good from Cantor. Cantor's got the lead up to 5 now for Portland.
I love that Cantor will pursue rebounds out of his area. This guy's such a powerful player who's willing to exert his will.
Williams, that's good. So many people know your story, born and raised in Las Vegas. It must have been an amazing feeling then to lead UNLV to its only championship.
I mean, Kevin, you know, playing in front of so many people you know has its pros and cons.
Right.
But to be a part of that 1990 championship team and the only one we've been able to hoist and to have my jersey hanging in that rafter, it's humbling, and yes, it brings back a lot of fond memories.
Like historically good, right? When you think of that team, what that meant, it has a historic place.
It does. We felt like we were able to etch our mark in terms of the lores of the game of college basketball.
McCollum passes to Simons. Back to McCollum. Here's the 3. And with the rebound.
Definitely a situation you want to make sure you don't give him too good of a look.
Morris dishes to Patterson. No good that time. Excellent D from Cantor. Kennard against McCollum. Morris with the rebound. Morris has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Kennard kicks to Williams. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation. A platoon swap here for the Clippers. An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Lillard against Jackson. The 3. And that's good. Damian Lillard for 3. And the Trailblazers lead by 7.
And we've seen Lillard hit that shot before. He has no fear when it comes to the deep 3.
And that one's good, George.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
And Paul George, Doris, kind of a late bloomer coming up in high school. His older sister used to give him the business on the blacktop. Of course, eventually, he found his stride, and the rest is history.
It took some encouraging from older sis and his high school coach, who actually had to threaten him with running suicides to get the guy to shoot more. And think about it. This guy plays his college basketball at mid-major Fresno State. That's really where he got onto the NBA radar.
And that one's good, Leonard.
Nicely done. They continue to attack inside, and that's 10 points in a row in the paint.
Trent passes to Jones, shoots over Leonard, and it's the Clippers with the rebound. Batum's got his 4th rebound in this one. George hacks a 2-pointer, and it's George again missing.
Boy, a miss like that will drive any scorer crazy, especially with the defender giving a cushion.
Trent passes to Lillard. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Feeds it to Covington. A beautiful reverse layup.
Since Covington has arrived in the league, he has come such a long way in his overall game. Great interior work there.
And George with the stuff.
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points. And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the CJ McCollum was on fire in the first half. He had 20 points and 2 steals. That's all for now.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. You know, C.J. McCollum has been exceptional here, guys.
What a menace he was on defense through the first 2 quarters, just disrupting everything.
Well, it was about effort and anticipation. Hard to get into an offensive rhythm when you know this guy is lurking.
3rd quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. On the floor for Portland, the high-powered backcourt pair, Lillard and McCollum. Robert Covington out there with Jones, and it's Cantor in at the 5 spot.
We are talking about a proficient, efficient scorer in Paul George. Go to work, sir.
Back to Lillard. With the shot, and he knocks down the jumper. Lillard's got 5 points so far.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
You know exactly what that takes. It takes energy, it takes activity, it takes intensity.
Pulls up for 3. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. And the Trailblazers lead by 5.
Boy, I love the attitude of Cantor. He is relentless on the offensive glass. How about that throw down?
George with the bucket.
Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Well, there is nothing better than catching a rhythm as early as possible. And boy, that's a terrific start right there.
And a deep 3 from Lillard. And it's Lillard again missing.
Boy, a forgettable night for him, but thankfully his teammates have played well overall.
George passes to Zubac. And that's going to be too many steps. Gets the whistle on the travel.
You know, the second half has been a series of distractions for him. After 1 turnover in the first, it's been a disaster.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Zubac. Marcus Morris comes in for Nicholas Batum. Lou Williams is subbed in for Reggie Jackson. And a switch here also for Portland. Trent's checked in. Just 5 on the clock. Portland again missing.
Well, this has not been a quarter to remember for this guy. He looks completely flustered.
And Kawhi Leonard, one of the league's most dominant rebounders, Doris, from the wing position.
Board man gets paid. That was his motto from back in high school and college. It's all about hard work and earning your keep, according to Kawhi.
Lillard dishes to Cantor. Back to Lillard from deep three-point range. The offensive rebound.
The hard blue-collar work ethic on display. This guy just beating everyone to the ball.
Clippers trail by 3. Outside, George. And it's all evened up. George has got 9 points now in the quarter.
In such a rhythm right now. Feathery touch. He's lighting them up.
It's Covington on the wing. Third quarter here, and 3 minutes have come off the clock. Kicks it out to Lillard. Lillard again missing.
And the well is running dry for him right now. Nothing falling.
And this is where you hope that he can find something easy so he can see the ball go through the net.
Trailblazers have gone a lackluster 3 of 9 from the field since halftime. Cantor, the shot will not fall. Good work defensively by Morris. Leonard, the pass to Patterson. Lays it up off the glass. Patterson's got 6.
Boy, that open look set up by Kawhi Leonard, that's probably the most underrated aspect of his game.
Lillard left side. Outside, Covington. Launches it. Kawhi Leonard comes up with the rebound. Leonard's got 4 rebounds in this game.
Boy, the wheels have definitely fallen off in this quarter. He cannot buy one.
And it's Paul George with the finish.
Now, Paul George is an exceptional athlete and demonstrating his insane dunking skills there. Get this guy in the dunk competition.
Lillard against Williams. Lillard attacking, and he gets the bucket.
This guy is a pick-your-poison kind of player. Very hard defensively to cover all your bases with him.
Outside, George. The 3. The shot, no good. And the Trailblazers going the other way. Following this one, they get to host the Mavericks. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand.
And this is peak Dame. Rising, firing, one of the more confident shooters we have in our game.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. Williams finds Patterson. Back to Williams. Pass to Patterson. The kick out to Williams. Misses the 3. On the wing, Jones. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game.
Get up, Mr. Covington. That is a very quick riser.
And a deep 3 from George. And out of bounds as the Trailblazers gain possession. Substitution. 3 quarters of play in a close game here. Trailblazers out in front. They lead by 2. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
We call that putting it right in the pocket, and he knew what to do with it once it was there.
And with 3 quarters behind us, we start the 4th quarter in what is still anybody's ball game. Batuma's out there with Kawhi Leonard. Then there's Jackson. Then it's Ivica Zubac. And it's George in at the 2 guard. That's who's out there for the Clippers.
We see Paul George just understands how to use his length and his size. He is such a tough cover close to the basket.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
And at the line, it's all about consistency with him. His routine, his stroke, it never wavers.
McCollum against Jackson. Down low. And there's McCollum. That's good on the assist by Anthony. McCollum's got 22 points.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And then George with the jam.
You know, Paul George with the absolute tight handle, able to navigate through traffic. That's ridiculous.
And here's McCollum for 3. Batum grabs the miss. The Clippers shooting 59% up to this point. They're working for great shots, and they're hitting them. George looking over the floor. Hits the three-point bomb. And it's a 3-point Clipper lead.
Consistent shooter from outside the arc. Paul George is terrific at finding space when he needs to get a shot off.
That shot wide open. He's got 25.
And guys getting into a nice groove here, starting to feel it.
And this is partly what the game has become, right? A matter of dueling three-point opportunities.
George, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
You got to love the penetration by Paul George. He's really quick on his feet, and the defense cannot handle him right now.
Cantor checked in for the Trailblazers. Damian Lillard comes in for Anthony Simons.
He's forcing the action now, finally getting to the charity stripe after no freebies in the first half.
Stolen by Jackson. Here we go, one-on-one. Basket good.
There's a rhythm with which Paul George plays the game of basketball. That pace is so important.
Lillard outside. And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here.
Well, he had trouble making shots in the first period, but rounding into himself here in the second.
Jackson with it. In the corner, George with it. And it's George finishing it off.
Well, how about that killer instinct? Paul George understanding he's got it going right now, very confident in his abilities.
Lillard outside. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. And Cantor throws it down.
And his Cantor so aggressive and assertive, big-time play.
Jackson looking it over. Passes to George. Takes it off the glass. George has got 32 points.
These are the shots we have come to expect from Paul George. This guy is cold-blooded.
Lillard attacking. And the call on the shot. Except the coach's challenge has been issued. A game like this, out of the wire, this is what it's for.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively and involving the coaches by being able to. A challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review. Proof positive that Lillard is worthy. That's talent you can build a franchise around.
Outside, George. And George with the stuff.
And that's how you answer. I'd say he just one-upped him. Pretty good one there.
These two guys really like going at each other, don't they? Lillard from outside. And another 3 for Portland.
That's one of those clutch shots he's known for. When the pressure is high, he seems to be the most locked in.
Outside, George. And George with the stuff.
You can see Paul George is locked in right now. Big-time shots demonstrate his elite level in the NBA.
It's Covington on the wing. Shoots over Batum. Cantor. Yes!
Boy, Enes Kanter's willingness to be the guy to take over in a critical stretch. So impressive.
Now George. Inside. Covington.
And you can't get a bigger bucket than that.
I'll tell say it takes confidence to pull the trigger in that situation. You love guys who relish the moment.
Lillard, the pass to Cantor. Kicks it out to Lillard. Back to Cantor. Count it!
Well, looking very confident, Enes Kanter off the catch and shoot. That's nice.
32 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Outside, George. Got it!
Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher, and Coach knows it.
Well, the best players, to me, deliver night after night after night. So as long as he's hot, keep riding it.
It counts!
This is what he's known for. When it's an important possession, Lillard knows how to come through.
Covington against George. The pass to Zubac, stolen by Kanter. And they commit an intentional foul. It's another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
You know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
Lillard with no one around. Misses the shot. And so the big win by Portland in a tight game. They break the hearts of every fan in the building with a dramatic. David, thank you as always. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. The busy freeways of Los Angeles, a hallmark of... Let's see some of the numbers here for Paul George.
And guys, his effective field goal percentage is trending in the wrong direction over the past 5 games. Shot discipline hasn't been the best. He'll be looking to play a smarter game tonight.
And the Clippers starting 5. Ivica Zubac is out there with Batum. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Paul George, and it's Jackson in at the point. And for the Lakers, Caldwell Pope and LeBron fill out the wings. Marc Gasol is out there with Markieff Morris, and it's Schroeder in at the point. And here are the Lakers. It's a 3-point game. James outside, and LeBron throws it down.
Yeah, I'm not going to give LeBron any more space, but certainly like to see him dunk. How about that throwdown?
You know, even though LeBron doesn't go 100% every minute of every game in the season, GA, he still knows when to turn it on.
And for someone at his age, that is something you have to know how to do. You can see when LeBron kicks it into that next gear. Can't keep it on all the time, but he's still able to take over when he needs to.
And so Gasol will bring it up for the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron against Leonard. James in the post. A shot. And it's Schroeder missing.
So weird. Sometimes when you get that much time, it can throw you off just as much as having no time.
George passes to Zubac. That falls. Nice speed that time from George.
Yeah, I didn't think there was a pass available there for Paul George, but he spots that small crease, he fires the ball through it, and he gets it to his open man.
Now here's James against Charlotte. He was really on his game. And James throws it down.
I tell you what, you better watch out, fellas. He is on fire here today.
George looking around. Low block shot, and it's good off the back of the rim and in. George has got 5 points so far.
What's the pick used for? It's used for separation, and Paul George got it there.
Here's Schroeder, and the layup falls.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
Outside Jackson. Zubac's the best to George. Nice move. And the layup is good. He's got 7.
You know, you're going to have success when you can start out shooting 80% from the game. So early offensively, they've been great. That's the way you like to start.
Now here's Schroeder. He's coming off a 22-point game against Charlotte. No good. That's miss number 2. He's 1 for 3. Clippers leading by 3. First quarter of play. We're about 3 minutes in. George, no good. And so James will bring it up for the Lakers. Caldwell Pope with a wide open look. That misses. Had a chance to tie it there. Jackson dishes to George. Well, it is a long season. We know that. And the All-Star break provides Greg some respite. But how do you keep your body fresh as we're heading down the stretch here?
Kevin, you got to listen to the training staff. I mean, first and foremost, teams are getting more advanced, measuring when players are wearing down and trying to protect them. All the tools are there, but you've got to take advantage. And the other thing is, mentally, you've got to be fresh. It's not just about your body being fresh. So sometimes you need to be able to shut the brain down in terms of the game and get your focus elsewhere.
And it's the Clippers with the ball after the basket by the Lakers. It's George on the wing. 6 on the shot clock. George double teamed. And Gasol sends it back. And here's the fast break. LeBron leading the way and finished off by LeBron.
All right, the coaches are going to ask you to stay in front of LeBron James, but seriously, you want to get in front of that?
Jackson kicks to Batum. Pass to Zubac. The dish to George. Banked in off the glass. George has got 9.
Well, he does a lot of work on the perimeter, but don't let Paul George fool you. He can finish inside.
There's 31 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's James. Gasol finds Schroeder. It's hauled in by Zubac.
His touch has left him in this quarter. Nowhere close to the kind of output they need from him.
Schroeder against Jackson. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
And good to see Jackson finish closer in. Not a guard who just chucks up threes. Can find the creases with that handle.
Schroeder right side from outside the arc. That shot is off. Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for the LA Clippers. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with him. And don't go away. We'll be right back. We welcome you back to Noche Latina. Becoming an annual tradition is always here on 2K Sports and always exciting. And guys, what's your take on the Clippers so far?
Boy, their offense looks really good when everyone's in sync. Terrific first quarter.
I couldn't ask for a better one right now. Just a complete rhythm by all the guys who got some minutes. Wonderful start.
Montrezl Harrell is out there with Jones. And it's LeBron James. And it's Caruso in at the point guard position. That's the Laker 5. Kennard for 3. Sinks the three-pointer. Kennard's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
You know, maybe he's not one of the elite sharpshooters, but even still, that's not a shot that D can afford to give him.
Caruso looking for an opening. Here's Harrell. And the layup's good off the glass.
Now, when the shot's going up, it's fun to watch the way that Montrezl Harrell will attack a rebound. Crucial to this offense and his production.
Now, here's Patterson. And there's the call on Montrezl Harrell. That is his first foul of the game. The Lakers making a switch here. Kuzma's checked in. Here's Mann. No points in the game yet for him. Kennard with the ball. Shoots over Kuzma. Tried to bank it in, but he misses. Here's Caruso. currently averaging almost 6 points a game. The score now all even. Caruso's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Williams with the ball. Jones covering. Shots good by Williams.
So good at driving to the rim. Even though he's a little bit older, Williams still with great speed, change of pace, and picks the right angle.
Here's Horton Tucker. This game he had 12. Kuzma passes to Horton Tucker. No luck that time on the shot that would have put them on top. Clippers have gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. Dishes it to Patterson. Pass to Kennard. Ball's knocked loose. Here's the pass to Mann. Shot from 12. The shot, no good. And it's the Lakers the other way. They defeated Charlotte in their last game.
Yeah, in that game, the offense was firing on all cylinders, partly because the other team's defense was a no-show.
Yeah, with the defense struggling like that, I think they just stayed with a healthy, consistent pace to get that win.
Here's Caruso. He had dropped for his third basket. He's missed only one shot.
And he has really come to life here after a slow start in that first quarter.
Outside Williams. In the corner, Kennard with it. Passes it to Mann. Back to Kennard. And the officials calling for a 3-second violation. And the Lakers with some changes. Markieff Morris is checked in for Damian Jones. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope comes in for Harrell. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Alex Caruso. Now here's Schroeder. And you can see his scoring totals. Those are some pretty good numbers. He's putting up close to 15 points a game on average. Jackson with it. Now guarded by Caldwell-Pope. George, that's a 2-pointer. And again, no good by the Clippers.
His touch from mid-range, that's almost always good. That won't shake his confidence.
Here's Kuzma. Kicks it to Morris. Goes back up. And it's the Clippers with the rebound. They come into this one following the loss to the Mavericks.
Yeah, I mean, on the road, their defense was just overrun. Couldn't match the intensity of the opponent, and it cost them.
Well, let's hope there isn't any carryover from that letdown in this one.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
The feed to Morris. And Morris throws it down.
Heady play there from Schroeder, zipping the pass to the teammate who had the cleanest look on the possession.
Outside, George. Pass to Jackson. Back to George. To the inside. And that one is good from Zubats. Zubats has got his second basket of the game.
And this is what Paul George gives you offensively, a guy who can create for himself, obviously, but he can do it for others and do it at a high level.
Schroeder outside. Paul George with the steal. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Three-pointer. Here's Zubats. Pass to George. Lets it go from deep. And another 3 for the Clippers.
Yeah, Paul George right now invested fully in this game and on both ends of the floor. Relentless on offense thus far.
And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers with their lead standing at 6 points here.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, folks. Paul George taking care of business in this one. He ended up with 15 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. It's been one outstanding game from George.
Really impressed with the shot selection through the first half, just taking what he can get from the defense.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to the first half and wondering, did he take a low percentage shot? Everything efficient.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. So for the Clippers right now, Batuma's out there with Kawhi Leonard. And there's Jackson. Then it's Ivica Zubac. And it's George in at the 2 guard. Leonard dishes to George. Fires for 3. And it's George again missing. Lakers trail by 4. Schroeder up top, guarded by Jackson. Morris passes to Gasol. Hits the layup after the sweet pump fake to freeze the D. Gasol's got 4 points this quarter. I'm sure you've got a list, Greg, of players you've visited with over the years who you really enjoy spending some time with and talking to.
I mean, there's so many, Kevin. A couple guys, and there is a little bias as a point guard, but Damian Lillard and Steph Curry and Chris Paul, 3 guys that, I enjoy sitting down and talking shop with. Giannis, witnessing his journey to greatness, all the while he remains humble and really appreciates his position. So several of these guys, I'm also not just an analyst, partner, but a fan, and a big fan of theirs.
You are a fan indeed. Gasol lays it up and in on the nice reverse. Gasol's got 6 points.
I mean, it looks simple, but LeBron makes it look that way.
George against Caldwell Pope. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. Zubac finds George. Block at 6. For the 3. Caldwell Pope with some nice D.
Well, they're going to try to search out for somebody that's got a hot hand right now. 1 of 4 to start the half.
Morris outside for the tie. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So 1 free throw coming up. And folks, the coach's challenge has been initiated for a personal foul. Close game like this, and he thought it wasn't a good call.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, Greg, to make the right call. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in air. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
And the Clippers making a change here. Morris has checked in. James, the pass to Harrell. Sweet move, and Harrell slams it in.
Harrell in ideal position and then rises back up and then able to jam it down.
Kennard kicks to Williams. And now we're 3 minutes into the third quarter of play. And the layup is good. Williams has got the game tied up here for the Clippers. Now here's James. He's got 8. Good for the 5th time in 5 shots. He remains perfect.
LeBron exploiting the defense once again, knowing when to slash and gets himself to the rim.
Now the pass to Williams. He feeds it to Patterson. Pass to Kennard. Back to Patterson. Pass to Mann. We've got 1:18 left here in the third quarter. Right side, Williams. Here's Patterson. Good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist.
Beautiful use of the pick and roll. Sweet Lou, so elusive and so good in those sets.
Here's Caruso. He has 6. That one drops for him. Caruso's got the lead, back up to 2 now for the Lakers.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
Williams dishes to Morris. On deep. It's hauled in by LeBron. Lakers have gotten nearly everything to drop this quarter. They're 7 of 8 from the floor since halftime. And the Lakers with some changes. Damian Jones comes in for Marc Gasol. And Kyle Kuzma is subbed in for James. Nicholas Batum, he's checked in for the Clippers. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Here's Caruso. He's got 8. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's on Nicholas Batum.
Think about a player like Harrell, who sometimes maybe the environment around him is really helpful for him to realize his full potential in the NBA. His teammates certainly feed off his intensity.
On the wing, Morris. Back to Williams. In the corner, George with it. Off with the layup. And we just finished the 3rd quarter, and we've got a tight ball game here. Lakers ahead. They're up by 3. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the 4th quarter. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And definitely deserving of the prize tonight. How about the read he made here? Looking like a point guard, putting the pass right on the money.
So helpful to the offensive versatility when your bigs can create, freeing everybody up, and that cut was wide open.
We've reached the 4th quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. We've got Dennis Schroeder. Montrezl Harrell is out there with Kyle Kuzma. Then it's Jones. And it's Caruso in at the 2. That's the Laker 5.
Well, when he gets into a groove at the free throw line, it doesn't just last for tonight. This might be 2 weeks, 2 months, something like that.
Schroeder finds James. And LeBron throws it down hard.
Never get tired of LeBron James in the air doing wonderful things.
Outside Jackson. On the wing, Batum. Outside, George. Pass to Zubac. Back to George. Wide open look. And good. And it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. George has got 19 points.
Paul George in the mid-range area just dominating that possession.
We've played just over 1 minute here in the 4th quarter. LeBron kicks to Kuzma. LeBron passes to Schroeder. Goes up the baseline. It's blocked. And here's George. He dishes it to Leonard. To take the lead, Zubac trying to break loose. Leonard the pass to George. The pass to Zubac. Shoots over Kuzma. Here's George. Gets the bucket and the foul. That's on LeBron James.
Well, the early years when Paul George came into the league with the Pacers, you wondered how his frame would fill out. It's filled out nicely.
Jones checked in for the Lakers. And here's James. He'll bring it up for the Lakers. Trailing by 2. Atlanta will be traveling to face them after this game. And that game closes out the 4-game homestand for him. And then jammed down as he goes right over. He beats Zubac.
Just a masterful offensive player, utilizing that pick with great intelligence there.
George dishes to Jackson. George passes to Zubac. Left side, George. No good from 18. Lakers have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the 4th quarter started. And it's Paul George with the foul. That's his first foul. Caldwell Pope, he's checked in for Dennis Schroeder. And the Lakers have possession. Antetokounmpo passes to LeBron.
Look, give LeBron the ball and get out of the way. LBJ again.
The Clippers trail. Outside Jackson. LeBron against George. 6 on the shot clock. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
And you can tolerate gas like that sometimes, but in a close game, man, I tell you what, that really hurts.
Williams, he's checked in for the Clippers. Caldwell Pope feeling it out a bit. Green's outside and stolen by Williams. And here comes Leonard leading the fast break. Here's George, and it's George finishing it off.
Go ahead and lead him, Paul George. Stepping up, a huge shot at this moment in the game.
Now James. And James throws it down hard.
LeBron James, one of the best ever to do it.
Clippers have gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the fourth. That's a 42% mark in the quarter. Outside, George. They get it back. There's 57 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Just 4 to shoot. 3-pointer. And it's George again missing. What a big possession right here.
No doubt about it, guys. The tension is palpable.
Caldwell Pope outside. Feeds it to Antetokounmpo. It falls.
You remember that one, guys, a difference maker.
I'm wondering, is that the biggest shot of the game?
And the Clippers call time here. They're trailing by 4. 30 seconds left to play in the final quarter. What's your take?
And you know what? They could foul here, guys, and send them to the line, but I think it makes more sense to play tough D, maybe try and force a turnover. Even if the shot clock runs down, there'll still be plenty of time to work with.
Looking at who's out there now for the Lakers. Markieff Morris is checked in for Jones, and Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Kyle Kuzma. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, during that last break, I heard Tyronn Lue as he talked with the team. He told them they have to pick it up. He said there's no time like the present, fellas. Embrace the moment, and let's take back this game. We'll see what they can do, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Schroeder with the ball. The feed to James. From deep three-point range, misses. And so the Lakers take the win. It was all right, David. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now.